This program is proudly brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana. Welcome to First Issues. As we commence with the new season of First Issues, we recognize entrepreneurs focusing on those who have the courage to charter the perilous entrepreneurship path. We acknowledge their effort in supporting economic growth and job creation in the wake of escalating unemployment rates, more so amongst the youth. More and more young people are seeking opportunities to make a living for themselves outside of formal employment. With current national unemployment rate sitting at 23.15%, the last few years have undoubtedly indicated the significance of having a keen eye to recognizing and seizing opportunities to solution for as a way to gain financially. Take, for example, our guest Keletso Ketshabile, who's director at BLEND2HEALTH, a company offering a wide variety of products and services concerning health. Through this undertaking, clients subscribe to meals, health juices, health smoothies, and personal training in Pilates. All these are as a result of Keletso teaching herself the intricacies of food, nutrition, and physical exercise. While all this started as a way to cope with the grief of losing her parents, it is now Keletso's bread and butter, which she pours all her effort into to grow and spread her love for fitness and wellness. But as someone with a background in interior decoration, it is quite interesting that she chose to venture into health and wellness as a full-time career. One may wonder though, how did she recognize this undertaking as viable? And where does she get the motivation to keep at it in spite of the oppositions that may come about? The details with Keletso. Keletso, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. We're here today to talk about opportunities that especially young people find and exploit and make the most of, right? Especially in these times of high unemployment rates. So let us talk about BLEND2HEALTH. How did you recognize this as an opportunity in the fitness and wellness sector for you to exploit and make a living out of?
So what happened was, after the loss of my parents, I needed something to lean on. What I used to do was, for me to push through the day, let me have a juice, vegetable juice. Let me have a smoothie. Later, and then I just realized when everyone started asking, do you sell these? Do you look good. So I figured, I could maybe try sell these. Yeah. So that's how it started. And then my close people, I told them I've decided to make organic juices and smoothies. So what I did was I started learning, because I had decided to turn it into a business. A lot of reading, a lot of research, and my passion just grew. Close people started buying. I figured, why not turn it into a subscription? If you don't have time to make yourself a smoothie in the morning, I'm there, I can do it. Things always align once you start something and you're passionate about it. And then Pilates came. So I decided to partner the working out and the smoothing, the juices, and now the meal prepping.
What keeps you motivated to go on in spite of, the little challenges that you speak of, and perhaps, with any business, sometimes you don't even talk about. So then how do you keep yourself motivated and eager to go on?
I know people will think, or you think this is a cliche. When you do something that you love, that days when you wake up, you're not motivated, but motivated because maybe you're tired. Yeah. Mostly with me, it's because maybe sometimes I'm overworked. I sometimes wake up not motivated, and I have to think where I came from, why I started. Because during the phase of me getting here, I started now saying, this is realizing actually that this is my purpose. So if it's your purpose, you have to wake up, motivated or not, and you have to do what you have to do. And I've been getting so much good reviews in terms of somebody will wake up. It just miraculously happens that my clients do motivate me. You know, I will wake up and I'm not motivated. We will go for our deliveries and a client will just simply say, you know, my skin looks so much better now. It's been 10 days of juicing or smoothing or the healthy lunches or the dinner or the breakfast, and I just feel amazing. Believe me, that keeps me going, that I'm actually in my purpose, and why not?
So what is our future looking like at BLEND2HEALTH?
Oh, exciting. I'm excited. I'm excited for myself. I'm excited for the community that I've been able to build. The BLEND2HEALTH community, you guys have no idea where we started. It's just like, so I'm excited because we are growing the brand, and this year we are taking big steps now to actually set up where people can now walk in, because we don't have a walk-in store. So we're crossing our fingers that we get that done. We get that out of the pipeline finally, and yeah. So that's a pretty big step for us, and we're crossing our fingers. So, and we know our community is praying for us, and we will make it happen so we can serve them better.
Bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala go duela metsi.
Mama, kana male jana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi. FNB re diretse tiro motho.
Senthe.
Ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwala FNB Cash Plus. Se se tlhokanyela ke o mangwa ga go mo tirisong le reference number e bon dinomoro tse diriswang go ruratsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke mo ntse samplele ka mananeo ya FNB ya Cash Plus.
La ha re le nna ke gone go utang ka dona ebile ke ne ke sa dumele.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from e-wallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB.
Dona. Nyawa ene ke ra sa thare. Mpare mo tiki. Na ke ra go motho go thoela mamorapedi. O tola skontere hela. O bua go se mousung wa go duela se mousung. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
Welcome to First Issues. On this program, we shine a light on people who live out what they believe to be their purpose through entrepreneurship. They work hard on their enterprise every single day to put food on the table and live out their entrepreneurial dreams. Even so, this comes with challenges. However, these entrepreneurs keep forging forth, seeking out every opportunity to be great, to overcome challenges and be victorious. Opportunities come in all forms, and for those with an eye out for them, they are always seized. Our guest, Thuto Meyer, the founder of Naalya Babysitting Services, took advantage of the ever-busy lives that we lead that for some make it a bit difficult to always be available to care for our children. The establishment was founded in 2023 and offers half-day, full-day, overnight and short-stay babysitting services. Besides that, there are child development programs and behavioral skills support services. As this is a people-centered service, how does our guest deal with her clients, but most specifically, the difficult ones? These may be ones who are always unsatisfied with the service, or those who do not show up on time for pickups, or even not show up at all. Thuto breaks down her business model and all that comes with running it. Thuto, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. We're here today to talk to you about your babysitting business. But before we go any further into our conversation, maybe let us start first by understanding what it is that triggered this idea in you to start this business.
Okay, so I started it because in 2023 I was working in a hotel. So most times I was busy changing shifts, working long hours, and I had no one to stay with my baby. During the day he'd go to school, but in the evening I'd still be stuck at the hotel. I have to take him to a friend's house, my sister's. So I just figured, why don't I hire a nanny? And while the nanny's at home, I can do babysitting. So as time went, I saw that it's not working out for him to just be home alone, no kids around. Started inviting my friends' kids, and I thought, let me just see how I can go about this. So I started just one baby. I just told one person who said they're going back to work. So yeah, told her, you can pay us to do this for you, stay with your baby for this period up until this hours. Then I asked the nanny to move in with us to be a stay-in. That's how we started out.
This is a people-centered service, right? So at this point, please share with us your experiences dealing with your clients, your customers who may be having different perceptions about what it is that they're expecting from you, different expectations. They have different personalities and the way with which they approach anything.
Okay, so usually I take everyone as they come, because I know as people we're different. We have different expectations of our children. We have different ways of raising our children. So when you come to me and tell me you want to bring your child, what do I offer? How do I handle a baby? I just tell you, I have my way of doing things. I do gentle parenting, so there'll be no shouting. Because sometimes the parent would come and tell me, we don't do that. So you'd have to know if we instill something new on your baby, it's for the best of his or her interest. So you'll have to practice the same thing at home. Yes. Sometimes we have our differences. Like, let's say our full day services run from 7:30 till 5:30 p.m. So 5:30 p.m. you'll have to have a reason for why you're picking up your baby late. So after that you have to tell us, no, today I'll be late, so I won't be picking up Simamanga this time. So kupa hore lemon home. So after hours we charge differently. Then sometimes you'd not communicate. You wouldn't tell me what's the reason you're late. I'm here waiting for you. Your number's not even going through. You're not being apologetic to what you did. But then again, we move forward. Next time you have to do better. If I feel like I can't have that relationship with you, we stop talking hela moho moren nangrem, going back and forth. I try and find a solution for how can we go about this so that we don't interact too much. We'll interact, I'll tell you 1, 2, 3, Naalya. If you have a complaint or you see an improvement in your child's life, you tell me, no, that's fine, we continue. Eventually, you'll have to see how other parents are doing this. Let me be a nice person, be a kind human being. Then we continue with that.
Taking care of children is probably one of the most, you need to practice a lot of caution, and safety measures have to be paramount. My question is leading to an understanding of liability. What happens when a child gets injured or has some sort of reaction to something like children with allergies? So in instances like that, how is the issue handled?
When the baby starts, you fill out a form with all the information, allergies, medical information, who do we contact if you're not available, who do we contact in case of emergencies, stuff like that. Kids are kids, they play rough. There are cases where they bite each other, they'd fall, hit their head, bust their lips. It's a lot of things. So when it happens, I let the situation come down here. Then as the parent, I let you know that 1, 2, 3 happened. We went about it this way. Sometimes you'd come, why is it my child? I make sure I text you. If I'm not around, auntie tells me, Kya go text hore ya me 1 2 3 happened. I'm really sorry it happened, but look at it. Ha ile gore o tshasa o ba I see do that for us. Gore go ska na an infection or anything of the sort.
Ta bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala go duela metsi.
Mama ka re jana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi FNB re diretse tiro motho ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwao la FNB Cash Plus se se tlhokanyela ke o mang wa gago mo tirisong le reference number e bong dinomoro tse diriswang go ruragatsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke montso sampolele ka mananeo a FNB ya Cash Plus.
Hela ha re le nna ke gone go utlwang ka dona ebile ke ne ke sa dumele
ke heditse.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from e-wallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB.
Dona nyawa ene ke ra sa thare mpare motiki na ke ra go motho hela mamarapedi go tola sekontere hela o bua go semosong wa go duela semosong manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
Welcome to First Issues. We continue on our intentional effort to focus on solutions available to entrepreneurs, especially SMEs, to guard against unforeseen financial loss that can have gargantuan impact on profits. In a previous episode, we started a short series on insurance with First National Bank Insurance Broker's Business Development Manager, Rebaone Khuwe, where he stated that insurance gives peace of mind, that your enterprise would not be woefully impacted in times of unforeseen financial loss. Not too long ago, the city was submerged in water after flash floods ravaged through. This left many establishments underwater, with property damage, furniture damage, and many other ruins. The aftermath of this was remodeling, buying new furniture, which means unplanned costs to the establishment. Rebaone says, as inconvenient as this may be, the financial implications do not have to be with their fire cover insurance. Rebaone, welcome back to First Issues. We're continuing our conversation on insurance. Today we're unpacking a product that you as FNB insurance brokers offer, which is fire cover. Let us understand that solution. What does it cover?
Before I start on that, I'll just use a relevant example of what recently happened. I remember there were some floods that recently happened. So our fire cover does not actually restrict to losses that would be incurred due to a fire loss. So it's a wide scope of cover. So normally we term it as fire and allied perils under insurance terms. So those allied perils are basically referring to damage that may be caused by wind, water, hail, snow. I remember Botswana, we were of the thought that right, but we've since seen what has happened. So those that had insured their buildings, particularly businesses, they normally have the warehouse and so those that had insured their buildings and they got damaged by the recent water floods that happened, they got assisted. So the fire cover is a wide scope of cover. It doesn't normally restrict to only damage that is caused by fire. So any damage that is caused by also how can I pay for the and they tend to damage your buildings. Now the fire cover is the policy that will respond to that. And then it also does not restrict to only buildings. We have businesses that have machinery, very, very expensive machinery. So we can also offer cover for that machinery. It also covers the contents more building. Yeah. And remember, there's also businesses that are into retail, barekisa and stock. It also needs to be covered. So it's a very wide scope of cover. So even if you do not own a building as a business, remember there are some items that may be regarded may be regarded as valuable assets. So in a stock, so they may be covered under fire.
I don't know if my next question has been partly answered by your answer, but I would like to know who or what business is eligible for this cover?
For as long as you have a business operating within the borders of Botswana, you should be eligible. Yeah. So normally what we do, as I've mentioned before, it's as client rona, and then rona as advisors or as specialists, we will now tailor make a solution that would now address to your needs on what is actually going to be happening or what are your business needs. So anyone can just apply. Our offices are either you talk to your business banker, either you talk to your relationship manager, or you can just walk through the First Place branch and ask for the insurance department.
In insurance, we sometimes hear of something called exclusions, right? Define that term, and in this case, what would exclude a business from being covered?
So exclusions in insurance terms are those terms or conditions that are not covered by an insurance policy. Normally, I'd use an example. Just a typical one would be wear and tear. Under fire, maybe you own a building, and then eventually we know that building has to be renovated. If it's not, eventually now it will start similar in defectives and then wear and tear kana ke gona gore yaanong so se tsohetse. And then under insurance policy says motor wear and tear, we know that when you own a vehicle, a business vehicle, eventually at some point similar and you know, such things. So I'll just use an example here, wear and tear, which is a very, very simple one. So that's one of the exclusions under any insurance cover.
Join us again next time as we continue our series on insurance, this time looking at business all risk with Rebaone Khuwe. Until then, have yourself a pleasant evening. Good night. This program was proudly brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.